Hello friends, welcome to engineering tutorial. In today's video, uh, we are going to start a new topic, a new subject, okay, uh, which is which is actually common to a lot of engineering branches. It is common to computer science, it is common to information technology, electronics communication, as also it is taught in instrumentation branches as well. Okay, so the topic, the subject is data communications and computer networking. Okay, so basically we are going to deal with the data, the information, the transfer, the transmission of the data, and how the different devices, the different uh, all the devices that are involved in the transmission of data, how all the things related to that. So this subject is all about that. It looks simple, but it has a lot of elements to it, and the next series of videos will be on this. Okay, so we are in these introductory videos, we are just going to brush over the introductory concepts, so that we just get a feel, okay, a feel of what this subject is all about, and then we will go into the deeper concepts. Okay, so today's topic is an introduction to the subject of data communications and computer networking, just to know the very basics, the basic fundamentals of this subject. So this subject, data communication and computer networking, it can be segmented into three main parts. Okay, we are going to study it in three main parts. First one, of course, will be data communication part, okay, where we'll deal with the introductory concepts related to data, the type of data, how the data is transmitted, all the rules and protocols, and all the mechanisms associated with it. Then the networking part. The networking is basically a set of devices which are connected in a structured way for the transmission of data. Okay, a group of devices, the mannerism, the way in which they are connected, and the rules and regulations for the transmission of data between those devices, fixed set of devices, and of course the most essential part of data communication and computer networking is security, okay, which prevents any foul play, okay, any third party interference between two parties involved in the transmission and reception of data, okay, to prevent any alteration or stealing or theft of data. So these are the three main parts of this subject, the three pillars, we can say, of data communication and computer networking subject: data communication, networking, and security. So we are going to discuss them in this video. We are just going to understand the basic concepts related to that, these all these three uh, fields, and in upcoming videos we will explore them in greater detail. Okay, so first, communication. Now communication, we all know, I've already posted a video related to uh, the basic introduction to communication system. You can check out that, where I've discussed the communication part in general, in great detail. Okay, communication essentially means exchange of information, okay, sharing information. Okay, so that communication can take place over long distances or within a small area. Okay, essentially it it can take place in a locally, okay, within a small area, or remote, over large distances, long distances. So it can either be domestic or international, within the same country or over beyond national boundaries. So example of communication: face-to-face conversation. Okay, when we have a chat with someone, we meet personally, we exchange information over the telephone or mobile phone, over social media platforms, online chat, through postal communication, through email. These are just the various ways in which we exchange or share information, our thoughts, our views, opinions. So these are all different modes of communication. So what is the difference between communication and telecommunication? Okay, we always hear the term telecommunication. What is the difference between communication and telecommunication? So telecommunication essentially means communication taking place over long distances. Okay, anything which the sharing of information or data which takes place over long distances is called as telecommunication. Here the word tele got attached with communication, and together the word became telecommunication. So tele in Greek means far. Okay, tele in Greek means far, so it essentially means communication taking place over long distances. So telephone, telegraphy, television, etc. are examples of communication taking place over long distances. Telephone and telegraph, they are two-way communication. It means communication can take place in two ways, okay, from the sender to the receiver in case of telephone and telegraphy. But television is a one-way communication. Okay, it is basically from the sender to the audience. The audience cannot give their feedback at that instant. They do not have that feedback capability, so it is essentially a one-way communication, television. But telephone and telegraphy, they are two-way communication, because when a person speaks on the phone, we can speak back, we can give our feedback. In telegraphy also we can do that, but in television we cannot. So this is a one-way communication, and these two are two-way communication. There can be other examples of telecommunication as well. These are some of the basic ones. Okay, communication over, telecommunication over. Next is the data communication. Okay, so the data communication. So when we talk with someone, okay, when we have a chat with someone, either it is face to face or through social media platforms online, what we do, we exchange our views, we exchange our opinions, our thoughts, and we pick a medium, okay, a way through which we can uh, convey our thoughts and emotions, our views and opinions. We use a language, okay, uh, and we make sure that the language which we are speaking, the other party, okay, the receiver understands it. Okay, it is he or she understands that language. Otherwise, if you speak in English and he or she doesn't understand that, or you are speaking in French and he or she doesn't understand it, then there will be a uh, there will be a gap in the information sharing. Okay, it will cause an error. Okay, so data communication, okay, refers to the exchange of data or information in a particular way, okay, in a particular way between two devices through a transmission medium, okay, and that way is agreed upon by both the parties, okay. The data which is transmitted from the sender to the receiver, the form of data, okay, the form of data is agreed upon by both the parties. We'll get to that. So data communication refers to the exchange or sharing of data or information between two devices via a transmission medium. Okay, we'll also discuss the transmission medium in brief. So the example of data communication can be telephone to telephone, okay, when we call on a mobile phone, a telephone, this mobile phone to mobile phone, desktop or laptop to desktop or laptop, the email or other things, or desktop or laptop to mobile phone, or mobile phone to desktop. So there can be many examples of communication. These are some of the basic ones. Now the data communication which I was speaking about, the language, okay, the understanding of the language, both parties should speak in the same language. Here will come to that, the data in communication. Okay. The data refers to the information, okay, it refers to the information presented in a particular form which is agreed upon by both the parties creating and using data, which I was saying, the language, I was correlating it with language. If the mode of communication is, let's say, English, it means both the sender and the receiver, they know and understand English. If the mode of communication is, let's say, French, then both the sender and the receiver, they understand French. If the mode of communication is, let's say, Hindi, then both the sender and the receiver, it is understood that they understand, they know Hindi. So that is what I am trying to convey here. So if the mode of communication is a particular language, a particular form of data, which can be one of these types, it can either be in the form of text, okay, alphabets, it can either be in the form of numbers, numerical data, it can be in the form of photos or images, it can be in the form of audio, it can be in the form of video, or any other type, okay. So if data, the agreed form of data between both the parties is text, then these remaining numbers, images, audio, video, they are invalid forms of data, okay, they will not work. If the mode of communication is images, then these remaining will not work, okay. So always it is necessary to know what form of data is compatible for communication purposes, okay. So text, numbers, images, audio, video are some examples of the form of data which is communicated, which is exchanged, which is shared in the telecommunication process. Okay, now coming to the next important part in data communication is how the data will be transmitted, by what medium. So it is the transmission medium concept comes into play. So when we speak with another person which is present in the same room, our voice, the sound, is carried by the air particles. So in that case, the transmission medium, the mode of propagation is the atmosphere or air, okay, air. So the air is the transmission medium which carries the data, which means the sound, the voice, from one point to the other, that is from the sender to the receiver. Suppose the internet connection that we have, okay, the internet connection or the cable TV network through which we enjoy television channels. The transmission medium in that case are the wires and cables. Okay, coaxial cable, twisted pair cable, optical fibers. Okay, those are the transmission medium. In that case, wires and cables are the transmission medium. Let me just add here optical fibers. This is an important transmission medium. Okay, so the various transmission medium which are generally used in the data communication process are air, electromagnetic medium, it is also called as electromagnetic mode of propagation. Then we have the metallic wire, then coaxial cable, twisted pair cable, optical fibers. Okay, so these are the various types of transmission medium through which data is transferred from one point to another. Okay, we'll discuss about them in detail. Here just we are getting to we're just getting a brief introduction into these concepts. Okay, next, the next main part of the communication and networking. The subject is network. Okay, so a network is actually a fixed set of devices, okay, which are communicated by communication links, that is the transmission medium, and only those fixed set of devices are allowed to exchange or share data or information between them. No other devices are allowed, only those fixed set of devices. It can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or many. So only those devices, it can be computers, it can be mobile phones, it can be telephone, it can be a printer, it can be a scanner, any hardware device, which are group of hardware devices which are called as nodes. They are connected together with the help of transmission mediums. It can be through air, through cabling, the wires, and only those fixed set of devices are allowed to exchange or share data. No other devices are allowed. Then those fixed group of devices form a network. Okay, we have our own network of friends. Okay, we have a certain group of friends where we communicate what our problems are, what the situation, and no other individual is allowed to get involved in that network, or we just say that this conversation should not get leaked outside, it should not be spoken outside. So in that way you can understand it. So a network is like that. So as I said, the node can be a computer, mobile phone, printer, scanner, any other hardware device which is capable of sending or receiving data. So the nodes are capable of sending or receiving data to all other nodes in the network. Okay, the data can be text, image, audio, video, numbers, the various forms of data which we just discussed earlier. Okay, so this is what a network is. We'll discuss about the various types of network, and in detail there are many things related to these things. These are just the introductory concepts to get us all acquainted with this whole lot of things. Okay, next important part is the network security. Okay, now suppose there is a situation where you are sending some of your personal documents, some personal information over an email, or you are having a private chat over your mobile phone, and some third party, okay, some bad actor, okay, they they get hold of that information or data, okay, they get hold of uh, that sensitive information. You would not want that kind of situation to ever arise, okay. You don't want any third party interference in your communication process, okay. You don't want your sensitive, private and confidential information to get leaked to the outside world, isn't it? It is one of the most important aspects of data communication. So that's where network security comes into play. So network security essentially consists of rules, regulations, various policies and practices that the main objective of which is to monitor and prevent third party interference, that is unauthorized access, misuse, modification, alteration or denial of the resources, okay, the data, the information, the sensitive data, okay, which is communicated over a network from one party to another, from the sender to the receiver. So this makes sure that the data or the information travels from the sender to the receiver without being corrupted, without being lost, without being tampered upon, okay. So this is the main objective of network security, and there is a separate term associated with the network security which is mainly achieved through cryptography. So cryptography essentially means to code the data, okay, encode the data. So it's given a secret uh, coding technique is used to encode the data, and from the sender side and the receiver side also it is decoded. So encoding, decoding, encryption, decryption, particular coding technique called a cipher is also used. There is a lot of things associated with that. We'll discuss them in detail. So now, for now, you just understand that the uh, network security is achieved through the technique, the process of cryptography. So network security provides confidentiality, okay, your 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 secret information, your confidential information remains a secret, okay, and integrity, the information does not get tampered upon, it does not get lost. Authentication, it means the information can be accessed only when it is authenticated by your, means by your permission only. It will require some authentication techniques. It can be a particular password, it can be a fingerprint, voice print analysis, anything. So only after that the data or information will be transferred or the communication process will take place. So this is all about network security through cryptography. So we have discussed the brief concepts related to communication, telecommunication, data communication, networks and network security. So in the upcoming videos we'll discuss all of these topics in greater detail, all these subtopics that are involved in it, okay, all the concepts that are associated with it. So I hope you like this video, and please subscribe my channel Engineering Tutorial for more such videos related to electrical, electronics, instrumentation and communication engineering. Have a great day. Thank you very much.